what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, move on to treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Hello and welcome to episode 200 of your show! Woo! You know, I'm starting to think that we should just say every show is like a monumental show so we can get the live studio audience in here because it's so much more fun when there's a whole bunch of people in here. Still, as far as we know, the only scheduled viewing on the internet for you, Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. You will find us here each and every one of those days, rain or shine, 200 straight. We also love to make up categories that we're number one in and say, hey, we're number one. Like, for instance, today, we are the only show on YouTube, as far as we know, that will have doors opening and closing constantly for the next hour as we have a whole rotation of guests rolling through. We're number one. We're number one. The only reason people actually tune in here is because of a camera. This camera is very special. This camera was our first big sort of business moment, thanks to our friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Maggie Cam. Let's see where she's going today. Margaret, over here. There she is. Come on, girl. Oh, we even got the special Maggie Cam. I love that. Come on, autofocus. Let's see that beautiful face. Come on now. I'm not going to start reading until we get her looking good. All right, maybe I will anyway. The Maggie Cam for our great friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. When you walk through the doors of that beautiful store, you will be met by Leroy, who is dating Maggie. Okay? That's the start. They're Saskatoon's puppy power couple. Leroy walks you up to the till where you say hi to Mike and or Rochelle. Rochelle is there today. I was just there earlier this morning saying hi. And I can tell you, the service still second to none, okay? They got everything you need for the greatest pet shopping experience of your life, including, well, now she's just going right out of frame. This is getting out of hand, you guys. Including the greatest cleaning station on earth, okay? As well. Hey, Migs, come here. I got it, guys. Watch this. All right, can we go back to OG? Hey, there's a good-looking Maggie Cam as well. There she is. That's good. I just want to get that post right there. They also have the new buckle-up collars that we have a video out right now. Another adventure with Maggie as she went shopping, as she picked out her lovely Marvel comic book collar and leash combo. You can check those out. They are absolutely fantastic. And not only that, they have the greatest service you will ever get in the history of any store because they are the kindest, most lovable people. And they're open after hours and weekends as well, thanks to Kirsten Shar and Chris, their entire team there. Absolutely amazing. That is our friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. Your pet's natural grocer. Can you read what that says? Anyone read that? Vision, integrity. Vote Maggie for Prime Minister. Apparently she's throwing her name into it. We know, hey, no politics, no religion, guys, but sometimes you can have a little bit of politics. Congratulations. I'm going to be her first woman, or her first man, or what's it called, like the lady president, but the other way? The first man. First mister, Mr. Number One. So real easy today. Episode 100 was a huge celebration. We had all the balloons. We had all the other fun stuff. And 200 doesn't feel as special. So I told Royal Anders, who gave us this lovely new overlay, I was like, just scratch out the 100 and put a 200th on there.
Great.
And then we'll be good to go. And what we're going to do is just check in with all the members of the different shows on the network and everyone involved with this family and make sure everyone's having a good time and celebrate, again, what is sort of a monumental. You okay over there? You know I'm hurting himself already. It's hard to walk around when you're just a hand, is what I've learned. There it is. They're waiting. I have to renew, apparently, so nobody hurt themselves today, all right? We got to make sure we're still good. Actually, I think we are. We got till the end of February. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guests are from the All Out of Angst podcast. You know one man from all of his natural products. You know the other guy from all of his bands. It's Uncle Mike and Matt from all the bands. Oh, nice white. That was a great white. Nice great white. Transition, bro. Woo! Amazing. How pumped are you guys that this celly is on a Tuesday?
Yeah, we just seem to hit all the big ones.
This is
Sometimes life just works out.
Yeah. And not only that, sometimes life gives you incredible gifts, like a new song from Ravenwood. Woo! Very, very excited for you, brother. How'd the release go?
Pretty good. We tend to do the soft releases or whatever, but it was exciting as far as like that song was a long time coming. Where its inception started when Noel left.
How Shout out to Noel, by the way.
Noel? Yeah, I was chatting with him today.
Of course. He said congrats on 200.
Oh.
That's a special man.
So yeah, we started it then, and kind of worked it a bit, tracked the drums. Probably I'm going to say 8-9 months ago.
Jeez.
Then
creating music is sort of a slower process.
Then we had a member leave. Mm-hmm. So at this point, we basically rewrote the whole song, just holding on to Aaron's vocal melodies and
who is also here today.
The drums.
Shout out right there.
And then I kind of rewrote all the guitar work, just to kind of one, to make it work for a 4-piece band, and 2, not to use someone else's material or whatever. But yeah, and then we gave it to JB, our producer, and it sat with him probably for about 2-3 months. Our song jumped the queue. We got that back, and then he ran out of time again. So at some point we're just like, you know what, we need to get this done. So I got in touch with Glenn Drover.
Of course. I love how it just nonchalantly falls through. So
we sent it over to him. He got us something back right away, and it was like this is the first time with Ravenwitch that we've worked with Glenn, and it was like the first mix we got back we weren't in love with, and that's interesting too, having to tell your heroes there's some things that we're not in love with.
Critiques.
But then he sends it back the next day, and it's just freaking mint, and we're just like, it's so awesome. So then put it out, and it's like it's always funny because you get people that will share it, and then there's also most of your longtime friends will maybe give a thumbs up, and my mom, I was like, hey, did you check out the Ravenwitch song? She's like, yeah, I saw that you put that up. I'm like, have you listened to it? She's like, oh, not yet. I'm like, oh, sweet.
And that's the whole process. Like I was talking to Brooksie, shout out to Brooksie, best social media gal in the world. I said, this is what we're doing. They got a new song. Put it out in the socials, and then we debuted it on the show yesterday. Sweet. We played it on the live show, which was awesome. Through Darkness is the name of the song. You can find it all over the internet, I guess. Yeah. Just like with the show that these guys do. The All That Angst podcast every Tuesday. Started out with a pre-show, audio-only, I guess, show that we would do, and then it sort of would lead into, because every Tuesday you guys are here anyway. So they were like, man, we're putting in all this extra work, and after you go through an entire show and then do it again, it's always way better the second time.
Yeah. And I always felt a lot of the times the first time was better off because it was less rehearsed.
That's true too. Now you got to be careful. You're talking like me. I'm the no prep guy. That's my go-to.
You are who you hang out with, Gary.
I don't want to be that bad of an influence. Yeah, but it's very, very cool as we've grown, and this sort of whole thing has been such a fun time, and it's led to a whole bunch of amazing things. Like Uncle Mike, we did an Emily Mays All Up in Your Business at your shop, which was super amazing. And none of that wouldn't have happened if you didn't come in here and said, hey, let's do this music thing. By the way, I got some stuff. And then all of a sudden we got Uncle Mike stuff on the set. Everyone here is sporting their Uncle Mike soaps and the lip glosses and all the other stuff. I just want to thank you for being a part of this, man, because it's so cool to have buddies that you've known your whole life, and then all of a sudden you sit down, you get really, really medicated for a couple of months, and you wake up, and all of a sudden you got a studio in your garage. You're like, what happened, man? Where am I? And then you got your friends coming, like, this is really cool. I was like, yeah, you know what? We can do stuff here. We can really make a difference.
Possibilities are endless.
And you're one of those guys. Like we tried with the radio station a while back, and it didn't really give you what you were looking for. And now we're here again, doing it on sort of our terms, and it's been an unbelievable honor to be able to peddle your wares, like they used to say in the 1900s.
Totally. Well, and so much more fun and so much more authentic. I think
that's
really
it.
the word.
Man,
what you notice.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, is that ever what we are, hey? And for better or worse, that's the biggest thing. Is that we're always going to be real here, and that sort of theme goes through not just this flagship show, but all of the people that have become a part of this family. Like it's just so cool to know. Like we just had a couple friends in shooting for the Bamford & Co. podcast before this. And the first thing they said, the guests that were on the show, was, it's unbelievable how you've created an environment where you can instantly feel comfortable. Because everyone walks into studios, like not a studio like this, but normal studios, And then it's like, okay, here's what you gotta do. You gotta do this. This is what has to happen. This, that, blah, blah, blah. And you just go, whoa, what am I doing? Here, it's the exact opposite. Like, so what do you want to do?
And
Where do you want to start?
I like how I'll come in and, you know, they're like the Bamford guys will be here or whatever. And it's like,
family,
it's
man.
always like from all the different walks of life or whatever.
That's it.
And I'm some schlubby metalhead and you come in, but we're all on the same level because, you know, we all believe in this thing. So, you know, it's just, it levels us out. It's
The
pretty
one question that weeds out, well, the move that weeds out everyone is our 2 rules. No politics, no religion, and no dicks, no assholes. And once you start there, when you come in, you're already of the mind where, well, clearly I'm not a dick, so it's nice to be here. And then if I were to ask anybody here, do you want to make the world a better place? Every single person instantly, yeah, that's what I want to do. It's like, all right, we're in the right place. That's what we do. You know, and it's so easy to do stuff like this because everyone loves to complicate things. Everyone loves to make everything so complicated. I spent 25 years in a business that literally made you do things without knowing why. It's like, well, why do we do this? Well, because we do.
We do.
It's
But
so true.
You know?
All of the like, you know, when we started Untimely Demise, we were going to these agency groups and stuff, and they would ask you like, what do you want to achieve from this? And we're like, we kind of want to like make some music and, you know, put it out there and play some shows. And it's like, no, but you need to have like a plan. It's like, but that is the plan.
That's the plan. Yeah. I would like
What
to
do we want to do here? We're going to
me,
get together at 4:00, talk about stuff, you know,
That's it.
usually of the local nature, variety. And
Hyper
have some
local is
fun.
a term that gets used a lot around here. Hey, shout out to a brand new sponsor, Drone Video Services. If you have real estate, commercials, or personal drone needs, hit up our boy LB, who's on the ones and twos today. He will drone the shit out of you.
We had
All
our,
right? Is that your catchphrase? Are we going with that? I'd like to see that on
is
a card.
now.
I'd like to see that on a card. I feel like it'd be pretty good. All right, before we let you guys go, any thoughts on the first 200 episodes of your show? Anything you guys want to say or put out there?
well, I feel like I don't have to like pee as bad before I get on air now. You know, normally you've got the like nerves or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
big
starting to get a little bit better.
Starting to get
Like,
comfortable.
So you know, it's not bad.
I thought it was the piss jugs you were hiding
Well,
under the
I-
table.
there's
That's
the
what I
piss
thought.
jugs, too.
Okay. Yeah, I thought there was
I like a
something there.
piss jug.
Yeah. What about you, old friend? Anything?
No, I mean, just happy to still be here. Happy to, and just see it kind of always progressing. It's
growing.
More people, you know, like just more shows, more opportunities.
More family.
Yeah. Stoked to do it again in, 4 months when it's the 300th episode, you know?
It's so crazy. Everyone always talks about, oh, once you get older, time really flies. And it's always like, yeah, that's true. But then you get in here and it's like, okay, now I see what people are saying. When you, hey,
All right.
he's rushing
I
it
like
up.
it. Great
When you
song.
actually work, like I always say, I've never worked hard in my life. It's the first thing I've ever worked hard at, ever. And then I'm like, okay, that's what they're talking about. Because I blink and a month's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, before it'd only be like a week or two. So apparently working really hard does lead to everything else going, which is interesting. All right. I frickin' love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of the show. And I just really love and appreciate you guys so much. So thank you.
love you,
brother.
Gary.
You
Love
guys
you
are
too,
awesome.
brother.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Congrats.
off the mic and out from all the bands. Woo! That's awesome. All right, as we get the Zamboni and clear the decks out, it's time to get to our next guest. I do want to say really quickly, if you are watching this and you're like, man, that looks really fun. What are these guys doing? If you want to be a part of this movement of making the world a better place, doing good things, so we as a whole don't fear leaving the house. Unless that's just me. I've recently learned about agoraphobia. And I'm like, that's me. It's real easy. Just let us know. Contact at dufferinave.com. That's the email. Holler at your boys, and we'll hook you up with whatever it is you're doing. Our friend Lori O'Connor from the Food Bank was here earlier today. It was great to give her a big hug. And apparently the next citywide food drive is going on in May, so we'll be back working with them and promoting the hell out of that. We also have a website that our friend Royal Andrews has made, dufferinave.com, just like the email, minus the contact and the @ sign. And you can find a whole bunch more information about our, ideas and what we want to accomplish as a family here as we move forward. This next show, these guys, it almost pains me to say, they are the top show on the network. They are the hardest workers going. They are the ones that do everything that Network Ryan says to do. So they're here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dragon and LB from the viewing room! Where's your shirt, bro?
I thought about wearing it, and then I decided not to. So
Boy,
yeah,
did you ever
that's
make
on me.
Dragon look like a fool.
Okay.
How
Okay,
did-
sure. In fact,
Well, because you and I look, we're dressed up all cool,
I've
and
gotten
he's
3
sporting the show
compliments.
shirt, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I am sporting a different show
Oh
shirt.
God, what's gonna happen?
Oh, Magic Mike, Magic Mike,
Oh.
Magic Mike.
Yeah, right.
I could go for a dance right now. I feel like that'd be
Little
pretty good.
photo prospector.
Oh!
Got to get the photo prospector.
Ladies and
going.
gentlemen, this man right here. Turn around. Hold on. Turn
Oh,
around.
yeah, we gotta get
all
that.
the socials on there. Can you get that? Make sure you get all of that right there.
No,
that man,
no crack ulcer.
that man right there is the greatest human being on the internet, the greatest human being walking this earth, and one of our favorite people in the entire universe, the photo prospector. It doesn't get better than that guy. That guy was the motivation for this entire place, and we love and appreciate him so much. Be sure to support that dude. He deserves all of it, I promise you. Okay, you guys started here, pushing a couple buttons, being like, hey, it's pretty fun.
running some cables.
Running some cables, doing
Buying
some
some
light
things.
stuff, and then things have started to grow, and now you guys are talking about, man, it doesn't even add up how many likes we're getting on our shows for just the amount of views we have, and you're
that,
talking
like,
all like
first time-
smart-
We didn't say it like that. It
That's
was
what I
more-
heard.
It was more of like, suck it, Gary.
I think I like my way better. I think my way is a little more fun. What do you two jabronis think has made your show so successful?
Our show's so successful.
My
Yeah.
grandma showing it to her church friends.
Yeah.
How'd they like Django? Were they big fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
right.
various reasons. Yeah.
Seriously, though, what's the allure? What is it that you guys bring that like, people want to watch?
Well, it's
We're
because
still
we're
trying
not.
to figure that out.
Yeah, right.
actually.
No, it's because I think it's because we're not a normal movie review. Like, you know what I mean?
Hold on, are you saying you're doing it differently and it's
Yes.
working?
Because
That's
like
weird.
most of the time when we read reviews online and whatnot, I feel like a lot of it's like very like based on what somebody else thinks it should be, whereas we try and review it from like an enjoyment perspective and like a logical perspective. Like, does this make sense, right? Like in our latest episode, we were talking about it'll be coming out.
Shout
it
out.
actually came out today.
Today,
Yeah, it came
Tuesday.
out today.
Today, yeah.
And we were talking about Misery, and it's like
And
gets
not
hit
that
with-
song. That
Yeah,
the
right.
kids, Misery
And
is
the-
how I
yeah.
feel when you're not around. Remember that song?
Sure.
Thank you. Yes.
And the lady gets hit with a 30-pound typewriter, like, and it doesn't do anything.
Hey,
Things like
to
that.
be fair, it's not just any lady. This is Kathy frickin' Bates.
Yeah, Kathy
Yeah,
Bates.
sure.
She
She
brings it. She brings it. So, how did you guys enjoy Misery?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
did
it's
enjoy
good.
Misery.
Yeah, so not
Yeah.
just a clever name. I like
Was, yeah.
that.
Yeah, and it's like what Adam's saying too, right? People nowadays are so hypercritical about things, and it's not necessarily bad to be skeptical and want the best product or the best show, but we also try and look at it from a stance of like, hey, we're critical and a-holes and want it to be perfect, but did we have a good time with our friends at the theater? Did
Yeah.
we crush a beer and have some laughs along the way, right? And so that's those are kind of some of our criteria that we look at. And
Do you think you would be as successful without our friend AA Run and the team over at
Oh no,
Coliseum
they
Presents?
basically give us a never-ending list of movies to watch, right, and good ones. So
And I remember sitting here because our friend Royal Anders is neighbors with Aaron from Coliseum Presents, and he was the one that sort of mentioned to him. Then AA Run reached out to me, and then we had a conversation on the phone, and it was like, okay, well, we're not really a money maker yet. You're not really making money. What can we do here? It's like, well, we have a movie review show. You have a theater where you play movies, actually 2 of them. Maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
And then you guys just took that baton and you just Ben Johnson the shit out of it and took off.
and we'll be having them on soon. So keep an eye out for
Yeah,
that.
it's-
We're
it's-
going to
do
good
that.
chat with them.
It's really been a gift, and I mean February 2nd, we're going to go see Groundhog Day. I guess.
Is that the actual day?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the Groundhog Day.
Cool.
And I guess that's at the Roxy. So
You
come
guys-
out, you'll see us there.
You guys getting any action on Puxatawny Phil, and he's going to see his shadow at all? Anyone?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Are there
It's-
any
it's-
other
it's been a weird
groundhogs out there
winter.
as famous as Puxatawny Phil?
No.
When you say
Yeah.
that, all I can think of is Flintabaddy Flanagan
There's
from Flin
four
Flon.
go. There's 4 groundhogs?
Is there?
Come on.
Wait, what?
Hell no.
Each country.
Each country has a groundhog. I don't believe it.
Okay, but there's more than 4 countries. Why is there
Yeah,
only,
right.
Why do only 4 countries get gophers?
They're
That's
the
not
only
fair.
ones that celebrate, all right? That's it. If you're going to celebrate. Oh, Ayrton Willie. Yeah, I remember him.
Oh, Phil. Back in '87, we went to a bar together. He was such a blast.
His name's Puxatawny Phil. He's in Puxatawny.
So is it the same groundhog, or is as
Probably.
Phil dies, the next one comes along and they rename him.
We don't. Hey,
What?
we don't want to talk about these groundhogs. These
Very sad.
icons passing away. Yeah, that's not cool. I imagine it's like mascots at like Georgia, the Georgia Bulldog. They just have like Bill 1 and then Bill 2 and Bill 3.
We always talk about Groundhog Day, but we never talk about groundhog funerals. And that says something about February.
Dang. Well, I hope we can leave everyone with a more uplifting.
Yeah, you were just talking about
final word
everybody being uplifting
from
and
the
having
viewing
fun,
room.
and then
Yes.
you go there.
All right, this is your final minute, fellas. What do you want to get out there? Episode 200. How you feeling?
Give it a watch. No, it's a fun episode. It's I think 59 minutes, and we had a lot of crazy funny jokes. I think it was a really
Any
tight
Triple H
episode.
sledgehammer jokes, or Peter Gabriel?
We had a few. Like we talked, actually we talked about the differences between the book and the movie. So
Oh,
that might draw some.
Which
more
is kind of
folks.
funny because neither of us have read the book.
of course.
So,
I
we're
assumed
putting
that
a
was
lot
already
of
done,
trust
yeah.
in
I read-
IMDb and Reddit.
I read enough Reddit posts that I
Yeah.
read the book itself.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah, it's how I got through high school actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That works for me. Fellas, thank you so much. You started here as literally right at the ground level, building this place, putting it all together, and then producing these shows. And you guys have sort of formed all the other people that have come after you in how they operate and what they do. And I feel like we sort
Set
of
a very bad example.
Well, that's the thing. We sort of fumbled into putting you guys in this position of power where you're just, manipulating everyone to be your own little workforce, like it's those minion guys you guys
Remember
like.
that first time he sent us to Best Buy with his credit card?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All of a sudden, I was skipping school to give Gary his credit card back at 10 in the morning. I'm seeing things no man should see. But now we're here,
Hey.
200 episodes later.
For the record, that's a pretty cool thing to see, though. Like, for me, that's like, all right, this guy's doing pretty good.
Not alone at night.
Yeah, from the celly.
From the celly.
That's it. We had an earlier celly. That's awesome. All right, you guys, thank you a million times over. I love and appreciate you both so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the viewing room. Still to this day, the only guy I've ever met in my life that gave himself his own nickname, and it worked. Normally that ends horribly. You can't force a nickname, but yet the Dragon pulled it off by just saying, I think Dragon would be a cool nickname, and then all of a sudden the fire came out of his mouth and his scales grew and he's here. As we continue on the 200th episode of your show, celebrating everyone and everything that's been a part of this. There's a little nice teaser for you there. These next jabronis, I say it all the time. The framework of this dream, this whole studio, this movement of ours began with these dudes. They were the only people that I knew of that were making money, dare I say making a living, by doing what we were about to start. Being on YouTube, being a content creator, and doing these things. So I went to my good buddy, Uncle Brando, a man I trained back in the day. A man who Network Ryan says is exactly the same as me, except for one very important place that we can't talk about on this family celebratory show. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Commander Cookout Podcast, Uncle Brando and Network Ryan! Nice little delay on that one. You guys see the new banner?
I saw the new banner. Very looks. Oh no, I didn't.
Come on,
That is
like
excellent.
I was looking at the very cheaply crossed out 100 and added in 200.
Shout out to Royal Anders.
I
Is
was
he
just
here
gonna
yet?
say
Yeah,
that.
there he is, my
Looks like-
man.
Looks like Andy's fine work.
Crushed it. Well,
Isn't that what
normally,
we're talking about?
no, well, no, I was talking about the picture of LB on the bottom.
I didn't see that.
It looked like one of those pictures from like World War II pilots.
Yeah.
Like very like black and white and just
Yeah,
very
that's it.
like manly. Like that's a manly dude.
He was
Very
8.
cool.
He was in grade 8 during COVID. He's not a man. He's not even a man yet.
Literally. And yet here he is running everything. What have we
That's
done?
it. Yeah, and as per usual, I have to come on after him, clean everything up,
That's it.
and sit in between Uncle Brando and my good friend Gary,
My man.
and make sure the place doesn't burn down.
You're like the shit in the middle of an Oreo cookie.
That's it.
And just as white.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a
also
shirt,
true.
if I didn't have a CCO shirt on, you'd see through me.
Shout out to
Nothing.
gingers everywhere. Now that there's
A
anything
whole
wrong with
laugh
that. Well, I
track
told you.
live audience, and I get
Dude,
nothing.
we've trained everybody here to just never
Just
laugh at
hate
anything
me.
you say.
Just
That's the thing. And the reason we do that is because you're the only person here that has any business savvy. You're the only person here that says, Gary, that's stupid. Why would you ever do that? You're the guy that takes all the stupid ideas I have up here, and you go, okay, this one might be something. And then I'm still up here, and you're like, okay, we can do this. And all of a sudden, we got this. And your value, I tell you, yesterday you were asking me a bunch of questions, and I was in my own head. I was like, why is he asking all these questions? At the same time, I was so grateful that you ask all these questions because you are the heart of this thing moving forward.
I was actually mad at him.
He was. He actually was. And I was mad too, but that's part of our
You were
relationship.
mad?
Of course I am. I'm always mad when I have to talk business stuff.
Oh.
Who wants to talk business? Yeah.
What?
See?
Oh.
I know. That's it. So I go and say, Brando, I'm doing this thing. And again, this goes back to my very hazy couple of months of trying to get this thing started. Brando says, I'm not your guy. I'm not the guy you want to talk to, dude. You got to talk to the guy. And I was like, oh, man, I'm scared. I don't want to talk to him. If you don't like talking to him, why would I want to talk to him?
I don't like talking to Brando. We've only talked for 476 episodes
Yeah,
of CCO.
Too many.
It's a lot of episodes.
462
A lot
too
of
many episodes.
Terrible.
That is, yeah.
So many. So you come in here, and I'll never forget the line that you dropped. It's going to be one of those things
What
that
did I
sticks me
say?
forever.
What did I say?
You said, Gary, I've spent 7 years making every mistake you can make.
Now it's
doing,
8.
Well, now it's 8, yeah. Doing what you're about to start doing. I can be of great value to you, and you have been. And it's been so good to have the one person that's always real and focused. Because this place built on dreams. Like this place was literally therapy for me as I tried to put my life back together. And then as I realized how good it was for me, I wanted to open up to all my friends and say, you guys, you deserve this too. We all deserve this. I wanted to help all the people that helped me get back on my feet. And then from that little patch of love, this whole place grew like this beautiful, like Jake the Snake plant, you know? It's like that. I didn't water that thing for a year and a half. It's set on top of the piano at 4th Street. And it's still here and it's thriving.
Why is he such a dick?
Well, because
We spilled beer on him on CCO. That's why he's growing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
no, but he is super like not nice. We put him on the mic one time and we had to ban him.
Yeah.
Because he was saying some real not
Politics and
cool stuff.
religion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's what
P&R.
it's all about. So we're like, you're just better sitting there.
Yeah.
But to have you come into this, what were your thoughts when you first took on all
Oh
this?
man, do you remember where we were when you said, "Hey, I got to tell you about this thing"? So you know Gary, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No."
Nobody knows Gary.
I knew who he was from the other place, and we were sitting in an airport
Yeah.
in the bar, and it was one of those airport bars where there's no servers. You just have to
Serve yourself.
like touch iPads, and then they automatically charge you, and then like a worker just comes and brings you a beer or a food,
Yeah.
and then they leave. They don't even say anything.
And then you
the
look at
worst.
your card statement and just cry because
Yeah.
you realize you're paying $14 a beer and you had 8 because you're on a 9-hour layover.
Yes. Where were we?
Oh,
We were going to Chicago, right?
that
were
was
we
on
in
our,
Toronto?
That was on our way back from Chicago, wasn't it?
Uh-uh.
Okay, it was on our. It must have been Toronto then.
Toronto or Minneapolis, hey?
Toronto.
None of it matters.
Yeah.
Let's get to the
Yeah.
good part.
It was terrible. Is the
Yeah.
point?
Okay.
Yes, it was terrible.
Okay, yeah, so that matters.
But yeah, that's how Brando and my conversations go. We just try to make each other remember stuff. It never works.
It's a great show, though.
Yeah,
Huge
and
fan.
and Brando said, "Yeah, Gary's got this thing," and I'm like, "What is it?" I don't know.
Still don't really know.
I don't know.
It's something.
And he's doing this thing. He's starting this studio. He wants content creators. He wants to pick your brain. All this stuff. And then we talked about it again. Randomly, we were just probably having a beer, and we talked about it again. And I said, "Well, what is it?" And he goes, "I don't know. We should go over and meet him." So we go over. We came over, and we sat here. I sat here. You sat there. I sat here. Brando sat there, and we probably had 10 more beer.
Yeah.
And we kept asking you, Gary, what are you doing? And you kept saying, "I don't know."
What do you want to do? That's what every single person that comes in here and asks that question, I always say, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
And then it threw you for a loop.
it did
Yeah.
because I thought I was coming on to help facilitate something.
plan, yeah.
Some plan, and I'm like, "Whoa, man, what is the
Fool.
plan?"
Yeah, no many of
And
those.
what we ended up kind of hammering out over the next month, that was like in February, and by March we started to say, "Hey, we can do whatever we want," and what that turned into was like, "Hey, what if we did this?" Well, yeah,
Now-
because we can do that. We can do whatever.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Wait a second, we can do that. And every time we started to say something, it was like, "Yeah, let's try and do it."
Let's put a camera on the roof.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do a Maggie Cam. Let's
Yeah.
reach out to these people. Let's do this thing. And And some of it didn't stick. Some of it was terrible. And some of it ended up being really good.
It's like real life.
And
man.
now we've got people like the Bamford and Co. who was just here, and they're literally all wearing suits, and they come to our freaking studio and record stuff. And Gary's in his beater with his beard, just looking like a homeless guy. And we've got a second set. We've got social media. We've got shorts. We go out to businesses now and make things that are getting traction. You and Brando I'm constantly saying, hey, you guys, right? Because we're doing whatever we want, or whatever people who want to create content with us want to do. You just did a book.
Yeah,
You did a whole book.
We got an ebook about to come out. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And then
all kinds of stuff.
we work with my friends Deb and Lori at the food bank,
Yep.
and we got like all of these really cool things that you would never ever think would be.
And
We went
charity
to a
stuff.
convention. We were at a convention. I've never been to a convention in my life. We were at the Gambate convention with a panel. We were leading a panel.
Man,
crazy.
That was such a terribly hard day for me.
Crazy. Yeah, oh yeah. Ryan only had one leg.
That was
Still, Dragon did the best impression ever that I've ever seen.
Oh,
It's all I won't be able to find it now, but he's like, hey, Garrett, turn on the camera real quick. Turn on the camera real quick. I'm like, okay. He goes, oh, I said, hey, Dragon. He goes, oh, hey. He's like, give me a Network Ryan impression real quick. He goes, oh, okay, I got you. He gets on the crutch. He goes, oh, my leg. Oh, where's my Diet Pepsi? And I was like, perfect. That was the impression. It was so good. And that literally was you. Like, that was you for like 3 months.
Oh, man. And you know what? Everybody during that time was so supportive isn't the right word, because support wasn't, I had crutches for that, you know what I mean? But everybody was so accommodating, and everybody was like, hey, move those cords. Hey, are you okay? Don't move that. I got that. Hey, sit down. What are you doing? I'm like trying to reach a curtain over there.
You always talk about Gary wrangling. We were Ryan wrangling.
You had to Ryan wrangle me. And yeah, that's just a testament, like you say, to the people and the family. I can't see anybody because the lights are on. So, but thanks to everybody.
Cool. Yeah.
Thanks to everybody who helped me through that and continue to take us to 200, 300, 400. What's the math? When do we hit 300?
Someone said like 4 months or something.
Is it every 4 months? Where's
think
LB?
so.
I can't even.
Yeah, I don't have my grade
Whatever.
12 math, dude.
Who cares
I could
where he
never
is?
tell you. I failed three times.
Oh yeah.
3 times with the exact same test and everything. Probably
That
just saved my
explains
test.
a
It would have been
lot.
great.
Wow,
Failed
eh?
twice at Bowman, thanks to Miss Roberts. Then once, thanks to Mr. Catrue over at Nutana. Tried to upgrade, still couldn't get it.
I love how it's thanks to somebody else that he failed. Hey.
Well, clearly, it wasn't my fault. Like all I had to do was just take and save these tests, and it's a whole thing. I'm not worried about it. I've moved on. Realized
could have
calculators
used
are here.
technology, like take a picture with his phone.
No, this is way back, dude. I'm old. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
This is
You and
back
Uncle
in, like-
Brando are oldies. Yeah.
This is
could have
like
chiseled it
99,
into your
2000.
rock.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
If I did that.
Clay tablet.
Real quick, we were talking a little bit of business stuff about the turning of the seasons and people that are getting out there
Oh yeah.
and getting ready to clean up as we're getting close to cleanup time. Maybe take a quick minute and talk about that.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, LB was giving me crap about that. It's whatever. So around where I live and where you used to live,
Yeah,
right?
I think
out,
it's very
out on an
cool. Yeah,
acreage.
there's people there that watch.
Yeah, there's old school, like, I'll call them yard maintenance and landscaping contractors and stuff, and they're trying to book in now in January, February, and maybe late March to start the yard cleanup, to turn sprinklers on, to do like the first cutting and aerating and gravel and all the stuff. And if that's you, or if you know that business and you think that they would maybe want a little bit of an ad spot,
I got you.
or if they wanted
the
to come
words.
on and talk about like what people should do in the spring for their own
Now
yards.
we're thinking, how do we help each other?
We can get a guest on. We can do a little bit of advertising at the damn studio. Contact at dufferinave.com if
let
that's
us
you
know,
or
baby.
your business.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, Brando's got one. Brando's got
go,
one.
Brando.
When you get an orange
Wait for it.
and you peel the orange,
Yes.
who pre-slices the oranges for us?
Are you
That
trying
sounds like
to-
some Jake the Snake religious talk right there.
Yeah, what's going on here? Don't you just pull them apart?
Well, I don't know. Ryan was talking for a long time, and I got bored, and I started thinking about other stuff. And I had an orange earlier today, and I realized that I opened up the peel, and there was
Yeah.
like
Hold on.
6 perfect orange slices, like right there.
When the hell did you start eating fruit?
On the way here.
First time?
What'd you think?
It was fine. My hands still kind of smell like oranges, though, which is
That's the
weird.
best
No,
part.
that's a
It's
good thing
nice.
about
You want
oranges.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know,
better than-
man.
Okay. You guys, we're going to keep rolling.
This is what I'm talking about, people. This is what I have to deal with. This is it. This is it.
Episode 467 shooting this weekend. 68?
477?
477?
Yeah.
477 times. Unbelievable. I'm so grateful that you guys moved in here. I'm so thankful that you guys are a huge part of what we're doing here. And I look very forward to more as we continue to grow and continue to try to make the world a better place.
Me, man, not so much.
You guys are my sweet angels of love. Ladies and gentlemen, the CCO! Maggie, you like that? That wasn't for you, girl. I know you're used to all the attention, but that was for those boys. As we continue here on the 200th episode of your show, we also, believe it or not, have some females here on the network, which we are so grateful to have. And I'd like to call them both up to the stage now. One you know from saving my mental health and allowing me to live a normal life because social media destroyed my brain for a long time. She is from Wendy Brooks Media. The other one, a new member of this family, a new member of this team. She has a new show called Emily May's All Up in Your Business. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Brooksie and Emily May!
Hi.
All right. Hey, first and foremost, thank you.
The beautiful mug matches your new
You want to tell the story of the mug?
I saw it at Valley Village and I was like, this screams Gary.
Great story.
And I bought
love
it.
Thank you. And every time I drink it, I have to do the
It's also so weird because this jacket I'm repping today, I also got at Valley Village. And every time we talk about this mug, I'm wearing something from Valley Village.
It's dangerous to go out there alone. Take this. That's the line. The opening line from the original Zelda. So you've been here for a long time. You know what's going on. You're a member of this place. Emily May, you just started. You just walked in here. You were the first and only person so far to send a resume to us. You know that?
I love that.
I've never felt more feelings.
Like,
all of the
official?
feelings.
Like, so
Anxiety, excitement, confusion, all of these things. Seeing this. And to go from that to this here, did you think this is what you're getting into?
I totally forgot I sent a resume.
Awesome. I haven't seen a resume, let alone had anything to do with one. Like, I laughed when I got let go. I was like, well, I don't even know. I wouldn't even have to change my resume.
Well,
I was
you
there
can
for 20 years.
Thank the man in the room right here because he made it seem like I had to send in a resume. Well, you know, amazing person in the background, tried to help me with my career, introduced me to Gary. And I was like, oh God, this is like the most serious thing ever now. I'm going to have to update my resume. I'm going to have to write a cover letter. Like, I'm going to have to meet this guy. And then, yeah. And then I come in here and it's.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see the cover letter exactly.
I don't think I wrote one, but my brain was
I was
ready
like, what's
to.
your pitch to get in here?
That right there is a perfect example of how this place works. We talk all the time about universal callings and synchronicities and being open to the universe and allowing it to give back and doing all of these things and following the signs. And all it took was for me to see a guy that I've never really hung out with or gotten to know much until the rush. Once we did the rush thing, I was like, that's my guy. That's my dude over there. And then it turns out I got a spot for him here. And it turns out that his son, who just happens to be a hand and nothing else, also has a spot here. And so we reach out, we help one person, and one person brings in other people that starts to help more. And that's sort of, everyone in this room is a part of that reach from, again, just being a good person. Just understanding that if you treat people the way you want to be treated, things can be really good. Life can be so much easier. And you were sort of that first, like, oh crap, I think I actually started a business moment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, because before, and I say it all the time, I had no self-worth. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I'm just
before
me.
was like,
you spend a whole bunch of time trying to, you know, do the right thing and take care of family and this and that. And you're doing all these things when you put yourself on the back burner. And then all of a sudden you don't have any of that. So it's like, well, I don't have any, you know, self-love for me. So how can I get myself back to something like that? And it's just doing these good things. And then people catch on, then people notice, and they start doing them. And then all of a sudden you're showing up here, and now you're on Emily May Mondays. We're hanging out. We're doing all this cool stuff. You got a show.
Yep.
It's just, you were sort of the first person that really showed the potential that can come from something like this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
remember
crazy.
when She was
It's
coming
crazy.
in. He was like, "Things are changing. We're going places."
It's
yeah.
nuts. And then we have your story. You and Hardcore. I was going to be here Friday, by the way, doing trivia.
I was
And I'm
gonna
on Trivia
ask
Friday.
where she is today.
Every
my
time
biggest
you're
fan,
on
my
the
favorite
show,
person
Yeah,
ever,
she loves
yeah.
you. Oh my
She
gosh.
gets so
love
upset when you're on here and she's not here. I get messages saying, "What the hell?
Yeah, I was
Why didn't you tell
expecting to
me?"
see her today.
Yeah, well, she's coming in on Friday, so we didn't want to, mess with that too much.
Fair.
But just to sort of, and this is going to sound really silly, but it's a bunch of dudes in here and a bunch of like really, really different dudes, like guys from all walks of life. I always like to say we are sort of like the outcasts. We're the people that didn't really fit in anywhere or do this or that. And having us all together, what's it like being the females of this family and having to put up with all the guys talking
Well,
shit?
I think you really know there isn't an HR department.
You're the HR department, didn't we? Hold on, didn't we put you in charge of that?
Well,
I think you.
I think I
took
said
over.
because I'm not that much better, but I said as long as I'm fine with it,
Not the
If
HR,
it's
more like
too
the
far
H
for you,
bar.
If it's too
Then
far for me,
it's
it's
too
way
much.
too
That's
far.
it.
Yeah.
But do you find it still as welcoming and everyone's still like really, really, really nice and sticking with what we need to be doing around here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I personally grew up like hanging around with
Dudes
guys
all the
and
time.
dudes all the time. I used to like play
Easy. on you.
I used to play video games and like wear the headset while my friends played and
that's
just beak dudes.
What
like,
game do you think it was? Anyone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
was.
knew already. What? Not technically, it was zombies. So zombies.
Well, it was also
on
Call of Duty.
Okay.
It was I played zombies,
That's
but
my-
when
that's
he
my jam.
yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't play actual Call of Duty, so I just beat people. But
pretty
yeah, so
funny
I
too.
hung out with dudes. So hanging out with dudes here and playing video games takes me back to high school. So
So-
I don't know how
Now
you feel about
well,
that,
you're
but-
totally different because you're 23 years old. You moved here. You're from another country. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on there. How has your transition been into all this?
What country? Somebody asked.
England?
I hear a question in the audience.
Yeah, live studio audience are the best. They'll pepper you all the time.
Yes.
But does any of that work into this? Like, did you find that it was because for all of us, I think I can say pretty easily that the transition with every single person that's walked in here has just been instantly, hey, you're family now. Welcome to it. Did you feel that way? Do you feel like you were instantly a member of this party?
I think now I am not saying this is all positive, but I think as soon as I walked in here for the first time, I knew I
made
could
a
never.
horrible mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew I could never leave, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like I came here and I was like, okay, this is happening now. This is becoming regular basis. But not in a bad way, in
Yeah,
a good way.
of
Just that
course.
was as soon as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you guys are very good, maybe except one of you who is
Where is
not
he?
here, but
Yeah, our
there
first
is a
rivalry
dragon on
became.
there. He would be my biggest enemy here.
Stand by that.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I
but
got your
other
back.
than him, it's great.
And the
I'm
best
also
part is
kidding.
he's your camera guy. I'm assuming that most reporters have very rocky relationships with their camera guys because they hang out all the time.
Yeah, it's
So-
just a lot of mean banter,
Yeah.
which is perfect.
That's what we look
That
for.
is dragon.
Yeah.
And this is another thing of value, I think, that we all have here as a family because we got really old, non-fashionable guys like myself and a couple over here. No talent, all talent. And we have females and like from this generation is what I'm saying. And then another generation. Like we have different generations of not just dudes, different generations of women.
Yeah.
And all these different points of view that have so much value when you're doing a show every weekday.
It's crazy. Like, what's the youngest person we have here and the oldest person we have here? That's
I
what
think
wanna
Phenom just
How
turned
old?
19.
Yeah.
19 to 63.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to out too many people, but I think one of the handsomest guys is also one of our oldest members. Not LB. It is funny how the people that built this and run this are all under the age of 20.
Yeah, I can't even drink yet.
Yeah, well, they can, just
Oh.
not in the States. So, something to think about. Anything else you guys want to throw out there before we roll into our final guests of the evening? Anything on your mind? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to promote?
Just that it's an honor to be a part of the 200th episode. I believe when the 100th episode was going on, I was busy, which is no fun. So I'm very honored to
We had a
be
lot more
here
balloons
today,
that day, too.
Yeah. Oh my
To
God.
be here
Celebrating.
and happy.
Celebrating you.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. We're celebrating,
Celebrating
you.
all of us.
All of us.
That's the whole
I am
point,
also
Gary.
just so proud of how far you've come. Honestly, from the day you came and told me your idea from us sitting on your couch in your house while this was still an empty shell of a garage.
Should we tell the story of Hardcore walking in for the first time?
Yeah, my first experience bringing Hardcore to Gary's house was a lot. So I've known Gary to be like the way he lives for a long time because we used to like hang out back in the olden days.
Yep.
But I brought Cora on and he was kind of like very passionate, but also very medicated.
Very medicated.
And he
just before you get into this, my whole idea was to give a run through of what the experience would be like as someone coming in here to start do a podcast. And this was when we didn't have a gate, so you had to walk through the house to come into the garage.
Okay, but she comes in and he instantly is like, okay, I'm gonna show you what it's all about. And then
I was a method actor.
He starts pretending like all of these people are around, but it's just me and Cora. And so he's like talking to people that aren't there and like saying, this guy will be doing this and this guy will be doing this. Meanwhile, me and Gary are medicated and she's completely sober. So I'm like, yeah. And anyway, so he goes through this whole thing.
She just couldn't see it. Yeah.
He goes through this whole thing and we leave and she's like, there's no way. She's like, just didn't have any faith at first that Gary was going to do any of this.
He is insane.
And I was just like, no, he's going to be fine. Like, he's just going through a rough time right now, but he will get there.
He's going through a rough
And
time.
I don't know where this faith came from, but I had it in you, and look at you now. So proud of you. And now Cora has faith in you, too. So
won her over.
Yeah, he did somehow. I don't know when or where, but it happened.
That's it. Well, hey, again, I love and appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of this amazing adventure as we continue moving forward and making this world a better place. That's what we're all about. And you guys are a very big part of that. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. Emily May and Brooksie! Woo! Oh, yeah. Well done, you guys. See? This is what I'm saying. That's close. That was going to be the first one. Live shows, live studio audiences, man. Oh, it brings it. Makes me so happy. All right, there's only a couple jabronis left for us to get to. One of them is over there talking.
Am I coming up?
He's coming up.
Am I the closer again for 200?
You're always my closer, bro.
Oh, bro, I appreciate that.
We
Congratulations.
also got the other guy.
200. Is he coming up too? Is this like a preview of Wednesday?
He's supposed to be, yeah. Come on up. Well, let's fix that. Let's fix that. Are we going to get the Phenom on too? I wanted to get him just enough, but we'll see. Well, we want to make sure that I'm going to frame him in just right. So he's going to sit behind Maze, but it's just going to be the Phenom. We don't want the rest of the... Yeah, there it is. Hold
Remains
on.
a mystery.
Right around there. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Right there.
There.
Our final guest of the evening, one man you know from a show called Stripped Down. It's a literal show that was a precipice for this place and everything it's about. The other man you know from being the brainchild, the ghostwriter of my career over the entirety, 25 years. A guy that had all the ideas all the time. Both members of the All the Way Around table that goes on every Wednesday, including tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coach Mazer and Avatar Anderson!
I got a nickname finally for the first time in my life.
The Avatar.
So
and
excited.
Of course, the Phenom as well. Say hi, Phenom. Well done. Woo! You
It's
guys.
like Dr. Claw.
How do you feel about being named after like one of the biggest movies of all time?
It makes sense. One I have not
Great
seen.
answer.
I haven't seen either. There's
You
like
haven't
2 or
seen?
3
There's two.
avatars.
I love that.
Yeah.
2 is disappointing.
I see. I thought 2 was great. The first one was, I was of the belief that it was just watching that Dances with Wolves movie all over again.
So you mentioned Stripped Down, Gary, and that's actually what I'm late for. So you brought me on last, and I actually have to go do my show in a couple hours here.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Can we get that picture up here, LB, real quick, so people know what's going on?
So going live
there we
tonight
go.
at
Hell.
8 o'clock on Rogers TV, which is Channel 10, and then also live on the Stripped Down live Facebook page. We'll be streaming it there. Baker Gray, first show of 2025. I'm really excited, right?
Very excited.
We gotta bridge this and start bringing the future guests of Stripped Down on your show. We talk about this all the time.
We talked about us being a live studio audience for you.
Yes.
On your Stripped Down.
Yeah, we were going to do that this month, but we're looking at February now because
fair.
one of the biggest cheerleaders of coming live is actually in Australia right now, coming for like the live studio audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like, don't do it this month.
Does she like
I'll
to
bring
roll
all
into
my
the
friends.
ocean like AJ does?
I'm probably.
I wonder if that's a
Yeah,
thing.
she likes to roll in the gutter, so I imagine it's probably, yeah. Shout out.
Here, here. Phenom, you still having fun? Awesome. Coach Mazer, you have
What up,
any
bud?
thoughts about the process of how this all started and where we've come? Is that a loaded question?
A little bit loaded. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this Gary. And I actually, you know what's funny? When there's nobody here, I'm way more comfortable. And now this has a new feeling.
Dude,
and I felt it on
it's called a
episode
crowd. Yeah.
100. And I don't know how like rock's legend starts. Speaking of you two, actually, I was showing the next generation your music. There's this kid from Borden on my son's hockey team. And he's like, Coach Mays, what do you listen to? I was like, you got to listen to this. And he's just like, it was awesome.
It's like your
Brought
cousin
out the
Marvin Berry.
mixtape.
You know that new sound you're looking for? Listen to this. Hey, Chapman Under the Sea Dance?
It was cool. And then we listened to some other music. Oh, maybe another song that you guys might have wrote but never released yet. But I don't know. You gave me trouble when I was letting people listen to your guys' song.
Oh.
But I let him listen to it. He's like, well, I'm not really into punk music, but that was pretty good too. And I was just like,
We wanted to release it properly. Yeah, we want to put some work in it.
okay,
Put it
so
out
I
there.
only let him listen to Raven Witch then. It wasn't
Well, that's okay.
the all
It's
Out
not
of
really
Banks
for kids.
band.
That's the other thing.
Nah,
As far as
I
the
coach
All Out of Egg
14-year-olds, Gary, and they use that language quite too much. Actually, I actually had to warn them a little bit how that you can get kicked out and
Yeah.
suspended if you use improper language.
Also,
Very
listen to
important.
this.
Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh yeah, hey, when
it
do you
was
gotta go?
Marvin Berry.
I haven't even answered your question yet. So I didn't think this would be what it was. I thought it would be more what it hasn't become yet. So in the
Interesting.
booth, like the book that
Book's
we
very
did.
exciting. Shout out to John Fast.
So I thought that was the direction we were going in faster.
So you thought
but
we were
it's
just going to
fine.
be like a tooth booth first?
I thought the tooth booth would be, I thought there'd be a little podcast stuff or maybe something like the All Out of Banks podcast, which I had a much more terrible name for. And then I thought it would be things, just some things like that, but there'd be more of that booth happening, which I think will happen in the future.
No, this place continues to grow, man. We can't stop. We got another modern set. We still got our Twitch stream, which we barely touched, even though we have not just one, but 2 world records, thanks to the Phenom.
What?
Very well done. Oh,
When
yeah.
did this happen?
Not too long ago. He had it and lost it, then got it back again.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So you lost what game?
It's like a droppy game or something like that, isn't it? Like
Flippy?
Minecraft
Flicky?
drop something. No, that was Dragons. It was something. Do you remember the name of it?
I don't.
Okay, well, it's
And
there.
how
He's
does-
he's a record holder. That
How
and
does
also
the-
Couple
the-
Dusty Diamonds.
How does he play with one hand?
Dude, how does he produce a show with one hand?
Great question. I
That's
have no
it.
idea. I
That's
don't know how
called
you
the
do what you do.
Suspension of belief, the suspension of reality, one of those things. One of those many, many things. So suspension of disbelief. Thank you very much, Dragon. Hey, LB, not Dragon. You do have a mic right there, right? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I moved the mic physically so these guys would stop yelling through the booth and just start using their voice.
Didn't work.
Clearly.
Oh, shoot.
So that's fun.
I'm in a live auction for a second.
Yes, we were talking about that earlier,
Thing
actually.
here.
This
Let me
guy's
see
doing
about
some
that.
budget shopping. So the original set that we had
See how we're doing on that thing.
was on a bunch of those what do you call those things, Maze? Those plastic,
We're on them still.
yeah, what are they called though?
Pallets.
Plastic pallets. And we had a big setup in the middle, and we had this big, huge bench idea, and then I had the idea of this, I wanted to call it the like scroller destroyer or something like that, where it was going to be like this big, super nice desk that made people stop scrolling and be like, whoa, what's that? Then that sort of transitioned into this incredible Paperboy set, thanks to our friends at Deneb, as well as Dr. Hausman Associates and everyone else who sort of came on board. As you'll notice, a lot of these businesses that are with us, like our friends at Aquaman, our friends at Nickel Plumbing, and our friends at Sonder Concrete Services, all these people, they don't need advertising. So when they come on, when they get on board with this, it's not to advertise them. There's Deneb Finishing Carpentry right there. They are coming on to support the idea that all of us here can make the world a better place if we just do good things. And then guess what? It keeps going and it catches on, and people start saying, oh, yeah, that Dufferin Avenue Media Network, they're doing really cool stuff there. They're doing good things. They're helping people out. And when businesses come on board, that's what they're coming on board for. And then it just so happens that everybody that's a member of this family supports those businesses, like a Pet Planet on 8th Street. everyone here tells stories about going in there and seeing Leroy and saying hi to Mike and Rochelle and using the cleaning station. And just the ability to be able to do something that I was taught so long ago as a guy who had a dad, and we were fortunate enough to have a family business, and a guy who took us to these restaurants and these stores that, you know, weren't the biggest ones. And I'd say, why do we go there? He says, son, we go there because they support us. That's why we go there. So just to have that mentality and to have it be so abundant here that we don't even have to say that, it just naturally happens, is something that just makes me so unbelievably happy. I really, really love that. And I love the idea of everyone here knowing that nobody here is a dick or an asshole. Nobody here is out to get rich and screw people over. Nobody here is a traditional business person. Everyone here understands. And it's, again, another one of those old things. You catch more butterflies with all the honey than when the bees show up, you know?
No.
Not even close.
Yeah,
you had me and you lost me. It was 60 to brick wall there.
Dude, it was getting way too emotional. I didn't want to be emotional. It's
Yeah.
silly. I wanted to Gary it up a bit, if you will.
Was it Crash Test Dummy reference?
Yeah.
Not that one.
Brad Roberts.
Once there was this. Okay, real quick, I've been telling this story a million times. You and I have had numerous conversations in dressing rooms and, dare I say, in showers about starting a cover band. That was a Crash Test Dummies / Bare Naked Ladies cover band. Was the name Bare Naked Dummies or Crash Test?
This might have been you and a Kyle thing, and then you just brought me in.
You want to talk about going all the way back? Kyle and Gary's super awesome podcast.
Yeah.
Man,
you guys were afternoons and coffee spoons.
Whoa, oh yeah.
And I was more of a swimming in your oceans.
Makes me just a little bit queasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
So we got Matt. You know, if Matt's on board with anything, I think our sound will be great.
This is why we love him so much. He's our in-house music guy. We've had meetings about starting our damn label, a music label. Just like this is scheduled viewing, like a network. Like it's not. I always say it's not a YouTube or a podcast. It's a TV network that just so happens to be on the internet, just like we grew up with. And at the same time, I want to have a record label, just like the ones we grew up with, that promotes all of the bands that come through here and all these guys doing amazing things. And so that's something that we're working on slowly. Dream big, right?
Yeah.
You still didn't answer the question. What was the name of the band?
I don't think I crashed.
Crash Test Ladies or Bare Naked Dummies?
There had to have been. Wait. Was there? Did I not try? No. See, I was the problem with this conversation. It was you and Kyle, and then I tried to insert Moxie Fruvis into the conversation.
You always Moxie.
And then you're like, you're out. You're out. You're out.
Yeah.
Exact. My bad.
Trying to.
Interesting. Very interesting. Sorry, this is what happens when Mace and I hang out, and that's why I love him so much. Because he's one of the very few people on this earth that has a brain that's as ridiculous as
Really
mine.
blank right now.
Like all over the place.
Yeah.
Non-stop. What's it like that Joker from the movie with the Batman? He's like, I'm like a dog chasing a car. I don't know what I'd do if I caught it.
Nope.
Yeah.
No?
You know that one?
I'm just mad you pitched a Giangameshi joke right across the plate and I didn't take it.
Sorry.
Not on episode 200. We want to go to episode 201,
Again,
Gary. So
what is with
I
everybody?
censored myself.
What is with everybody trying to end their time on a down?
No,
We don't want down stuff. We want up stuff. Before we wank up. Before we wank up Frankie and work our way out of here, any final words?
I'm honestly, I didn't come to be on the show today.
I know you did.
We were here talking about future stuff, so I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for episode 201, which is
we got a big
tomorrow.
guest. You did some good producing.
We do that. Well, then I'm excited for episode 202 and 203. That's Monday. You know what I mean? I'm excited for everything that's coming for you, Gary. So
I'm excited to buy you guys a calendar.
Coming for us. Calendars are good.
Yeah, so
You
we
just
can
see-
figure out.
You remember that So I Married an Axe Murderer where he's like, sorry, I thought I ordered the large coffee?
Yep.
I got one of those calendars that's like this big, and in my tiny little ski chalet, it takes up like 2/3 of the counter. It's awesome. That's my point, is I have the best calendar in the world because I can actually put stuff in it instead of being like that.
I wanted to say it's been amazing watching you just like become the ringmaster of this place. No, I mean it's
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin,
It takes
right?
a lot to
Yeah.
corral people and make sure you have guests and schedule and keep the train on the tracks and keep the conversation going.
And
it's
every single person here is why that works.
Well,
and that everyone makes it so
but every
easy.
single person is here because of you.
Well,
You started that.
because of all of us, and that's the beauty of this.
For real, guys. Like there's so much energy in the city of people with creative, like-minded creative minds and want to do stuff like this. But where do you do it? I grew up through community television. I was, where I made my name for myself, and
So Simon coming in tomorrow.
That just doesn't exist anymore. Those opportunities that Shaw TV and Rogers TV and Access in Regina, where you could just be like this and be like, I want to make a show, I want to review movies, and people would kind of help you facilitate that and do the legwork till you got up and going. Those don't exist anymore except here.
And
I'd like to add to that, because I remember when we first were talking, or we had a few conversations, and as we started progressing along, I still didn't believe it would happen. But I'm like, if the first conversation, like, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Gary. And then as we got along and the vision started expanding, and we even got off course a little bit, I didn't believe. I still wasn't sure it was going to happen. I still had my doubts, and you're like, just press forward, and you've created this thing, and yeah, it's awesome.
Keep
I agree with
swimming, man.
Curtis.
Emily May mentioned when we met, when she was like, what's the next step? And we were both kind of in the same boat. And I remember she said something like, I want to find a place that has all the good qualities of this industry and none of the bad. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what Gary has done.
As a guy who was in it for, again, 25 years, man, it's a long time to be in something. And then to just be out of it instantly. It's just like, all right, now what do you do? And then you look around and you realize, well, all of my friends in this business are all doing 4, 5, 6 different jobs at once. And then half of the shows on all the local networks are just being played out of cities that aren't ours. It's like there's nothing local anymore. And it's like, well, I guess we can fill that spot. And here we are as, like, sort of, dare I say, the hyper-local place to be if you want to get the word out in this city. Like, this is the place for it. And that's because of everyone here. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah. I love you guys. Also, shout out to our friends at 911 Turbo that have hooked us up not just with the incredible opening theme,
Keep
but
networking,
as well
everyone. Keep
as
networking.
the piano outplay theme, who just so happens to be Von Trask Grandpa Frankie.
Did we get to 200 questions? Wasn't that the purpose of today? Or
Right, you ready for it? So.
Oh, did we get there? I missed half of the show. We didn't do it?
No.
Yeah, I'd hope.
Oh, there we go.
I'd hope the hand plays the piano for us.
He's never had a chance to do it out here,
Right?
eh?
Look at that.
This is pretty good.
He's playing
Hold on.
triple time.
Who's got? Can I get one of those controllers that moves a mic or a camera? Anybody?
No.
As we
Get ready to
move. Nope, right here.
Oh, yeah. No, wait.
I got
How
you.
are you gonna be? Oh, right.
Nobody question
behind here.
anything. I got this. No,
behind
Phenom.
here.
Phenom. Back
Go in
over
there.
here.
Go in there.
You gotta show off your skills. Oh, I got this. So
Wrong
good.
hand. Get in there.
Get in there, Phenom. All the way. Hurry. Now
Well,
give me
then
that hand. Let's see it. There he is. Hold on. Play the piano for us. Where are you? There you are. You little hand.
Blurry hand.
Come on.
That's a
Come
blurry.
on. My mom's going to be so upset. There we go. Yeah, keep going. Amazing. Yeah. That's not working very well. All right.
Hallmark movie
Let's
now.
switch. There you go. All right. So, again, everybody, thank you so much for being a part of something that I truly feel like has become a place, a thing that is actually making a difference. And for a guy that's never worked a day in his entire life until this, I'm so proud that my dad's proud. That's one of the biggest things. He says, son, everyone can see. Everyone can see. And as a lot of us know, like to get the go-ahead from your dad, like none of this would have started without him believing in what we're doing. So that's how I know we're really doing something awesome and making a difference. So again, thank you to every single person. If you want to be a part of this, it's so easy. Just let us know. I want to have a live studio audience like this every show. That's one of the goals I want to get into. So if you ever want to come by and check one out, just let us know. We'll get you in here and you can interrupt us and throw a bunch of crazy questions at us as well. Because
Sam and I at Salicardo.
It's happening.
Joining the team.
It's happening. The band's getting back together.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited. I also found that Jackie just lives down the street. That's what Simon was saying.
Oh, nice.
Jackie
Yeah.
Dickey. So it's like, man, we're doing it.
Reboot Cinema 10 from 1999. Let's bring it
That's
back.
it. Hey, remember, karma's a very real thing. Do good things and they will happen to you. This could be you. Take care and have a great night.